Hi guys, Josh. We need to have a conversation again. And it's not going to be the most pleasant one. Plain and simple, we need to stop gatekeeping. We need to stop holding the Second Amendment to only those we believe deserve it. It's for everybody. It's not a me versus them thing. See if I can readjust that light. It's not a me versus them thing. It's not a my culture versus their culture sort of thing. It's everybody's culture. America was founded by a bunch of rednecks, backwoods colonists with guns. We got tired of the federal government. In the case of the Revolutionary War, the British Crown, we got tired of them taxing us, pushing their issues, not letting us have a voice. So what are we doing the same thing for? By gatekeeping, all we're doing is keeping our culture from growing and keeping it from having a resurgence. I'm going to quote Paul Harvey here.
If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And with promises of higher ratings, I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. I would caution against extremes in hard work, in patriotism, in moral conduct.
I think that one's quite telling, personally. The original broadcast of that was 20 years before I was even born. And we're seeing it now. We're seeing this extremes on both sides. Extreme patriotism, the extremes on both ends are pushing out your middle voices. We need to sit down. We need to have conversations. We need to talk again. And Paul Harvey said it in there again. Pushing of filth. It's a sign of societal decay to me. And I think it's telling. But I don't think it's an unfixable situation. I think there's still time for us to get in there, to right some of these wrongs, to right some of these extremes that have happened. But we can't do it without being willing to listen. And I think that's where we're holding ourselves back. We're not willing to listen to the other side. There has to be a compromise somewhere. So here's my plan. Here's what I would love to see. I'm nothing. I'm a redneck hillbilly from the middle of Iowa. But I think we need to get back to valuing the nuclear family I think we need to get away from idolizing Washington, D.C. and the shithole. I think we need to bring back the small town communities. That's what this nation was built on. That's what this nation thrived on for 200 years, was those small towns where neighbors knew each other, where neighbors helped each other out without asking. Where did they go? They're still around a few places, but not anymore. And I think that is part of the moral decay we're seeing. One other piece I want to play by Paul Harvey.
And now, the rest of the story. Once upon a time, there was a fair-haired farm boy named Jim who had 25 cats. Most of them lived out in the barn and chased mice. A few were beloved house pets. All of them had names. Jim's cats were more than farm animals, you see. They were family. Each was distinctly recognizable, not only by appearance, but by personality. Each had its own habits and quirks, its own needs and sensitivities. Jim found something to love in every one of them, and each in its own way returned the affection.
I think that's where we lost our soul as an American nation. We lost our value of the family farmers, the small-time farmers, the small producers. I think we lost our center when we lost that value point. And I think that value point personally encourages hard work, encourages self-sufficiency and independence. And I think the rural decay of the last 30 years is a direct sign of us losing those values. I was born in the farm crisis of the 80s. I know those hard times. So here's my challenge to both sides. For those of you in the urban environments, come out, see what this rural life is like. See the hard work. Realize where your food comes from. See the work that goes into it. As that Paul Harvey clip stated, farmers aren't heartless killers, but we know what the circle of life is at a very young age. Same with hunters. Same with outdoorsmen in general. That calf that I bottle fed for the first 6 weeks of its life, that was a 4-H project going up. That turned around and became the hamburger or the steaks on my plate. I knew that from 6 years old. I knew that was always the end game. And it didn't make me weak. It didn't do anything but forced me to understand that life hurts. Life's gonna be hell some days. But for the hard work, the rough days, the moments at 6 years old watching Betsy the cow get shipped off to the butchers, I knew what that meant. But there was emotional attachment there, and it hurt. But you know what? I knew that from the beginning. That was never a secret. And the truth is, I think it helped me grow stronger at a younger age. So here's my challenge for all you urban residents. Come out, see how that meat's raised. See how much love those animals receive in all stages of their life. Quit listening to social media. Come experience it for yourself. I'll even extend the offer. If you ever want to come out, deer hunt, see the level of respect I have for the animals. And wanting to put that humane kill shot. I'm going to be straight honest. That's what it is. I want to end the life of the deer I take quickly and as painlessly as possible. I want it to be 1 second they're here, the next second they're just gone. Because that's humane. And that is an ethical way to maintain the herd. Now, before you say it, I know the argument that's coming. And yes, kids very young can help butcher. My niece helped butcher when she was 7 years old. She knew what a dead deer was. She's not terrified of them. She knows where that meat comes from that's on her table. And she knows the love, the care that those cows, those pigs, those sheep all received before they were slaughtered, before they were killed to provide food for the family. Now, hunters, outdoorsmen, I've got a challenge for you too. And I'm going to piss you off. Stop gatekeeping. In the late 80s and the 90s, 40% of America owned a firearm. There was an estimated 150 million hunters in America. About 40% of, that's 50% of 300 million, so it's not quite 150 million, but it's vast numbers. Today, it's about 30% own a firearm. Less than 10% of all Americans hunt. The fastest growing groups of new gun owners, women, people of color, and young adults 18 to 25. So here's my challenge for you, experienced hunters. Experienced outdoorsmen, experienced 2A. When you find someone that is showing true interest in getting out there and learning firearms and learning hunting, fishing, outdoorsman way of life, don't shut that gate on them. Leave it open. Bring them in. Show them what that means to be a hunter, to be a 2A advocate, to be a person that owns firearms. Mine's sitting right on, one of mine are sitting, well, Two of mine are sitting right up here on my desk. And I just had a friend text me first part of this week. She grew up around guns. She knows how to shoot. But she's never learned the basics of loading guns, loading up magazines. And she felt horrible because she's got a kid now that is getting into that. And she can't answer the questions. So she asked me, through her husband, to give her that crash course. Sure, gladly. Because I know, one, she's going to embrace the 2A community, embrace the fact of being a firearm owner. She already has a few. She just has never learned how to load the mags. But I also know she's going to do it responsibly and safely. Because she reached out and asked to learn what she didn't know. So once again, 2A advocates, however you want to call yourself, gun owners, I don't care how you want to phrase yourself. If you own a gun, own it safely, own it responsibly. And don't gatekeep the community. If you see someone that is younger or older, doesn't matter, and shows a genuine interest in learning and in possibly joining the 2A community, bring them into the fold. Don't tell them no. Because the only way we are going to roll back some of these bullshit infringements is by swaying the general public. And the way we sway the general public is by showing them that guns aren't a monster. And the only way we can show people that guns aren't a monster is to bring them into the fold. So, the next time you hear someone or see someone start to be interested in firearms, bring them into the fold. Get them the knowledge that they need. If you don't have it, that's fine. Reach out to me. Reach out to local gun ranges. Reach out to certified instructors. Just make sure we're going to bring people in as knowledgeable and safe gun owners. Please. Because if we don't protect the 2A now, what's it going to be like for our kids, our grandkids, our descendants? If we're not willing to stand up and fight for him, for that right now, when is it going to end? And where is the end game? Because we already see where the anti-gun folks want to end this. Look at the UK. Do we want that crap here? Or do we want to take those rights back? And do we want to take the responsibility of educating people and put it on ourselves? All right. That's my little spiel. I said what I wanted to say. Episode 4 of Chasing Monsters went up. And I'll tell you right out, I legit shit my pants in them. And it's caught on trail camera, and I left it in. So check that out. I'll link that whole playlist. It's Iowa. It's Iowa. It's early whitetail season. But I'll show you the dirty. Other than that, I really don't got much for you tonight, guys. For those of us that are gonna get hit with, sounds like a couple good shots of snow this next 12 to 14 days, stay safe. And enjoy the holiday season, guys. Episode 5 of Chasing Monsters is going to be one more trail cam run. Fully admit that. That's the plan. Yeah, my bald spot's getting big. And then hopefully, because Iowa deer season, the season I go is December 13th through the 21st this year. So my goal is I'm going to do one more preseason training run or tracking video or Jesus, words are hard right now. I'm going to do one more round of trail cam checks. And after that, see if I do it next weekend. Can't do it next weekend. I got family obligations. Weekend after that is first shotgun for Iowa. I will not pull cameras during that season. I will not go out. That is Saturday through Wednesday. I will not go out at all during that week. Just, that's a safety factor. I'm going to protect myself. But what I will probably do is either that Thursday or that Friday between seasons, and it'll probably end up being Thursday. I'll run out, I'll pull trail camera cards again. I doubt it'll be on another video. But then episode 6, the way I have it laid out in my head, episode 6 is going to be deer hunting. I can't promise you that the shot is going to be on camera. But what I can promise you is you guys will come with me and experience some of what the hunt is like. So until then, because Captain Spot, Commander Spot is over here looking at me and giving me one hell of a cross-eyed, because this is about the 3rd attempt I've tried to record this. Stay safe, guys. Be well. Love your families. Hold your tribes close. Enjoy the holidays. And if I don't see you, happy Thanksgiving. Merry Christmas.